Hey guys, it's Chris June. I just wanted to hip you to some new projects that I'm working on. Make sure you tune into Bond TV for Blackville, which just premiered this month in October. It's about a church family who cares about everything except for God and family. Also, make sure to check out a new romantic comedy, my first time playing in an indie movie. This movie is called Last Night in ATL. It's coming out November 1st. If you follow me on social media, you'll get the first update on that. Thirdly, we have Twisted, which is coming out, which is presented by Raheem Brazil, who you may know from About Him Season 1. He's got a new series talking about a transgender woman who owns a clinic and all of the twisted drama that comes into that. That comes out November 15th. You can follow them at Twisted Cast. But also make sure that you follow Culture Clubb at Culture Clubb ATL on Instagram. They don't really, they're not using the emotion the correct way. You can have your let out, you can be upset. Find your space, you know what I'm saying, where you realize that that is going to be only to your benefit at the end of the day. What can you personally do with it? Don't expect always to be able to give it in this raw form and have it be able to be received. That's why art is an example.
Gentrification, and they grew up around us, and if we saying like, and we almost took them in, like, you know, that's my brother, that's my sister, like, what's good, sis? Like, and we talk the way we talk because that's part of our culture.
And then hopefully the next time that you have a shitty friend that's doing something shady, trying to steal your man, hopefully you'll realize it a little bit sooner, but it's okay if you don't.
But that's how you realize it a bit sooner, is when you actually have that time to sit down at peace and start to examine. Because if you don't really examine, a lot of times people don't realize that you have all of these Freudian slips. Mm-hmm. You have all of it. It's showing. Yeah. It didn't just pop up out of nowhere.
What's going on, world? Thank you guys for tuning in to AK Nation TV, the network, the one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences, and welcome to another episode of Culture Clubb. Like we do on every episode, we're going to reintroduce ourselves from our right to our left. State your name and one word that describes you.
Well, my name is Chris June. One word that describes me is charismatic.
I'm Timothy Richardson. One word that describes me is relentless.
Hey, I am Wesley. One word that describes me is emotional.
That's true.
I didn't need any commentary, thank you. You can continue.
Hello, my name is Olivia, and one word that describes me is dialectic.
Oh, Lord.
Hi, my name's Levi Eric, and one word that describes me is creative.
Hi, I'm David, and one word that describes me is complex.
All right, so So everybody who is anybody that watches the Culture Clubb has been asking for Dontez. Where is Dontez? Is he not coming back? Well, the last filming that we did, he was asleep because we did an early taping. So that was like almost a month and a half ago, probably almost 2 months ago. We haven't seen each other as a group, as Culture Clubb. So we're back now. 2 or 3 days ago, Dontez hit everybody up in the group chat and stated that he will no longer be a part of Culture Clubb. And I'm assuming that it's for right now, because the way that our conversation went was, at this point in life, in his particular life, he doesn't see it fit for him to continue to be a part of Culture Clubb. Now, we all know that Dontez came from, we all know where his background came from as far as doing video or even putting his life out there like that. So it was a dramatic challenge for him, as you can tell from the beginning episodes, and then he kind of like found his niche with it and got comfortable. I'm not personally sure what's going on now, but he says that he's going to continue to watch and let's, support Dontez. He still has his Instagram up. So yeah. Thank you, Dontez, for being a part of it.
Thank you.
Hold on.
So what's been going on? That update we just gave about Dontez. Chris, what's been new with you?
What's new with me? I've got a few different things in the works now. Today is October 22nd. So Blackville on Bond TV just came out today. Make sure you check that out. It's another story I'm happy to share that is telling about our community. I have an indie movie coming out November 1st called Last Night in ATL. So make sure you look that up. That's starring me and Thomas Mackey. And then Twisted comes out November 15th, which is a story about a clinic and a transgendered woman and her struggles, as well as the cast. So make sure you check that out.
Okay, all right, congrats. How's the modeling thing going for you?
I've focused a lot more on acting right now.
Okay.
I realized that I cannot do everything at the same time and be my own manager, publicist, PR, just like all that stuff. The season right now is really acting for me. And I'm just happy to have a season.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Mr. David, what's going on, David? You got a new haircut, got a new facial hair going on. What's new in your world?
Well, I've moved since the last time we filmed here, which was like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. Moving sucks. It just sucks. Apparently, some people have been watching Culture Clubb and have reached out to me and sent me a couple scripts.
Okay.
So I'm going to be checking those out and reviewing those. And other than that, life's good. I'm enjoying it.
That's a beautiful
Glad to be
thing to hear that this little platform of Culture Clubb can get work for you guys. That's amazing. Mr. Levi, what's going on?
So I just finished editing an experimental audiovisual project with a psycho character called Sunburn Boy, who's a persona of mine. And so I'm submitting it to a couple of film festivals, but it's like a mix of a Halloween and Christmas movie, so I'm debating on when to put it online, but be on the lookout for that.
Interesting.
Yesterday I filmed for a short film called Election Day, which deals with sexual assault on last year's election day. So that's by Tiffany Williams, and that's going to be like a great short that's coming out this November 11th. So check that out too.
Introducing Mr. Tim here. A lot of you guys have seen him. If you follow me on my Instagram, I shoot a lot of his photos, and his pictures are all over my Instagram, especially my Wesley H Photos page. So introduce yourself a little bit and say what you got going on here in Atlanta.
First, I just want to dedicate literally 95% of my success to this guy sitting next to me. Yeah, we've been on a little journey together, and I can honestly say having Wes in my life is a blessing. I'm Timothy Richardson. I'm kind of a few things. I'm Mr. United States 2017. I'm an actor, philanthropist, model, writer. I'm currently shooting Pure the Movie, at Pure the Movie on Instagram. Please follow. That's my first lead role in a film. It's going to be submitted to film festivals all in January, February, March. Currently, what I'm working on is with this guy, the mastermind. We're working on a visual book, and it's going to include high fashion, a little bit of sexiness, because I'm kind of known for being an eye candy model. I kind of blame Wes for that. Yeah, and it's going to include poetry by me. A lot of people don't know I actually write poetry. And yeah, there's going to be a promo tour for Pure. I'm also doing a promo tour for the book. So I stay busy. Doing a lot. Can't really put a finger on exactly what I do. I just kind of say I'm a creative.
All right. Miss Olivia.
Hi, guys.
One of the fan faves.
Yeah.
Causes all of the drama on the show.
Why not? Resident
What have you
lesbian.
been up to?
Okay, so things are the same. I've got a few irons in the fire that are new, but like any hustler, I don't divulge until they've actually materialized. So just know that I'm doing shit. Okay. And beyond that, what's new? Oh, my eczema's new because the weather is colder, so my eczema's new. Been using lots of shea butter, trying to keep my stress down.
Butters.
You know, that's about it.
Yeah. Is it getting cold in Atlanta? Because everybody has on turtlenecks. And it's
It is cold. So see, I'm a tropical people. Okay.
It's cold till about 1:30.
Lies, fools, and fairy tales. No.
It's in the
67
70s
degrees.
right now.
Okay, 70 degrees. That is problematic for me. I like, you know, that is a lie. A lot of people think Atlanta is hot.
Not all the time.
Not all year round. Atlanta gets to like 40 degrees in the morning. And, you know, they lied to me when I came here because I thought it was going to be summer all year round, and it's not summer all year round.
Mm-hmm.
There is like 40-degree weather. I did not sign up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so hence the turtleneck. Yes, darling. Yes.
Well, since the last time we recorded, and shout out to everybody that thinks I'm so dramatic and always having a meltdown and always having a breakdown and all of that. That's my one word to create, to talk about myself was emotional. But I have learned a lot in the last 2 months.
You have.
Okay, and I have definitely improved and enhanced on the emotional tip, to say the least. Stop it, because I have. And what's going on? Right now, I'm still doing my 2 contracts, photography, editing, and directing, and I am actually going forward with A Connection TV, the network, so that it can actually be the network. And in the process of writing my first, I want to call it a series, I want to call it a film, but I'm writing. And if anyone knows me, that's very difficult for me to do because I am, what they call it, ACD, I can't sit still. I have to always do something, and sitting still to write can be somewhat complicating for me. But I do have to say that what I am writing is going to be very interesting. You've never seen it done before, especially dealing with the LGBT producers that are out there now. So it's a first, and I always create firsts. So I'm very excited about it. Hopefully, he'll be on it, and he'll audition for it and be on it. And David, I already spoke to David, and hopefully these guys, you'll see them blessing my camera. For we'll hope. Maybe Larry can do some things too. Maybe. Larry's over there, y'all. He was like tardy for the party. But that's what's going on. So a lot has happened since we've been away. Everyone's doing well, so I want you guys to know that everyone's doing well. Even Deandre is doing well. Everybody that's graced the Culture Clubb video or camera is doing well. But let's talk about what's going on in today's world. I looked at Culture Clubb ATL comments about what y'all want us to talk about, so we are going to dive into that. But the most recent turn of events that seems to be hitting the airwaves every day is this Harvey Weinstein character. He's a very handsome guy, very good-looking, charming, debonair type of guy who seems to be having his way with all of the ladies in Hollywood. And what do we think about this? Do we think that it's okay? Do we think that it's cool? Should we just expect and accept that this type of behavior happens from multi-million-dollar people who own companies and can tell you what to do and dictate your future and so forth and so on? Let's start with David.
I just feel like, how many times have we seen this story? Like, you know, the guy, he's famous, he's whatever, you know, charming or whatever, and the girls come out later like, oh, he raped me and he did this and da-da-da-da-da. But just like, I take those stories with a grain of salt because you don't know like just how much like somebody might just be trying to get some loose change versus, you know, what really happened. So it's just like, to me, it's just like another Bill Cosby type of thing. So we'll see how it pans out.
So I appreciate it. So here's what we're gonna say, right? Here's what I'm gonna say to y'all. Y'all always say that we always interrupt each other. Now I know Olivia wanted to interrupt him so badly, but you did so good, sis. You did so good. And I know Chris was over here like, what the fuck is this? So y'all did so good. Thank you for not interrupting. Levi, how do you feel?
Well, first, I just want to say that good looking is subjective.
Sarcasm.
I was
Sarcasm.
gonna actually. I was like, we looking at
Maybe,
this?
like
Sarcasm.
20 to 30 years ago, I don't know.
Sarcasm.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not getting into all of everything. It is something that I think what David was trying to say is not to be like surprising. Like, it's not surprising
Thank
to me
you,
that this
Levi.
happened. It's really
I don't know if you
not.
want to thank her.
But you know, some of the things you're saying are problematic, like as far as victim blaming, and it gets this touchy area whenever it comes to like, because even when we were talking about Usher, I was saying that it need to be proven, because I made a similar point saying that maybe someone was just like trying to go for a money grab, and we got into that whole discussion, and this is very similar to that, but it's very touchy when it comes to he said, she said, and a lot of money is involved. So I get to some degree what you were saying, but at the same time, I think that one thing that this scandal has really done has brought a lot of attention to awareness of sexual assault with the whole Me Too hashtag that started trending, and people publicly saying, hey, this has happened to me too, and here's my story. And it's really encouraged a lot of people who have never said anything to publicly come forward and like on such a public forum like Facebook or Twitter or wherever they did it, and however much they decided to tell their story. But this is something that's kind of unprecedented in that it pushed a lot of people out of the sexual abuse closet, and that's one good thing. And when money is involved, like, he can afford to be like, hey, here's $50,000 or how much for you to sign this contract saying that you're never going to say anything about this. And, you know, if I were offered that, shit, I would probably take it too and then not ever say anything. But, I mean, as far as he's been doing this for years and people not, that's what I think about. It's like, how has he been getting away with this for years? And it's because
You know who he is?
he's been like silencing people with his bank account. So I don't know, it's crazy. It was a horrible thing that's been happening for years that I think has had like a positive outcome with the whole Me Too campaign.
So Olivia, you are female. How do you feel about this?
I feel this is ridiculous. And I feel that I do understand in the beginning when you first started talking to David. First.
Y'all take me so
And you
literal.
said something to the effect of, I'm going to paraphrase, expected. Yes, I do expect this kind of behavior. I do not, however, accept this kind of behavior. So I understand why it's been going on for so many years, because, you know, these are women and men, because now his brother came forward and said that, you know, he's been beating my ass too. So this is what we expect. Kind of happens. He beat the crap out of me a few times. It's just what we do. So I get it. This is a power play. It's not a money play. It's a power play. He has control over, you know, people's lives, their careers, their livelihoods. So that made the situation to me very rape-esque, you know, because rape is about power. It's not about sex. So, you know, I don't know whether or not people are coming after because of finances or things like that. The finances were part of it for me, the way I interpret the story, the way I interpret the data that is coming to me. It is more about power and how he was able to really, you know, affect people's lives. And I'm very proud of this campaign and all of these people who are stepping forward, because it's about time. And I'm glad that we're in this environment to do that, because you got on one side all of the stuff that, you know, Mr. Orange Man 45 is doing, and that makes it feel like you can't come out in this environment. And then now you have this other thing that we have one of the biggest power players who is on the chopping block, and he's actually been removed from his own company of his own name. So brava. And I don't know, I'm nervous because this is weird. This is a weird time for me. I don't know if this is a bait and switch time with politics. Like, are we going to focus on this because there's something else that's happening that we don't know? Like, I don't know. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it.
I think back to all of the films that were produced by Miramax, and then I look at the guy that's the co-founder of Miramax, and I'm just like, wow. It's like very interesting how someone with so much money and so much clout in Hollywood can take advantage. And the latest female, at this particular time during this recording, the latest female to come forward is Lupita Nyong'o. And to listen to what she described, I was just like, what in the hell? Now, I was being sarcastic when I said that he was young and debonair and good looking. He's not. He's the complete opposite of that. He could be Donald Trump's brother or cousin or whatever. And thank you for the Orange Man reference, because when you said that, it made me immediately think about how much money Donald Trump has and how many women he's possibly done that to.
He pussy grabs. We know he said.
I mean, right. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. It's very sick, but I am happy that females are coming forward and talking about it, and it's disgusting that so many females have been affected. They played an audio clip on E! News where the female was, you can hear the female, and this is allegedly, this was Weinstein. It's not confirmed that it was him, but it sounds like him. The female was saying,
can we go for woman? I love the word female, and can we go for woman?
Okay.
Because
I don't know
really
her name, so I was just saying
say
female.
woman. It gives it way more power versus
Okay.
just saying female.
I've learned that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when a white person calls a boy when I call him boy. Okay.
Right.
So
yeah.
Or can I say lady?
Lady, woman, that still works, but woman is more powerful
than female.
You know, than female.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So the woman.
Thank you.
I was on the tape. She was saying, no, I don't want to go in there with you. And you can hear the guy saying, no, just come in here. Just come in here. It's not going to be a problem. Just come in here. Just close the door. And he was really like adamant with getting her to come inside of this hotel room. And it was just really weird and uncomfortable to listen to. And she was like, no, because the last time you touched my breast and I don't feel comfortable with that. And it's just sick that we have these type of individuals that exist in this world and that use their money to do these things to people. And you're going into an industry or are in an industry where that happens, and we kind of all are, and you want to be in this industry as well. How do you feel about everything that's going on?
Yeah, you know what? I can honestly say I can go ahead and do the whole like hashtag me too. Like I've definitely had I won't mention any names, but I can say there's powerful people in the industry that have made passes at me, that have tried to take advantage of. You would say your pureness in the industry, because you go into it with one mindset thinking that okay, it's going to be my hard work, it's going to be my ability to network and really establish meaningful connections. It's like that's what's going to propel me forward. And then when you see like this unveiling of like, oh, so this is the truth of this, like you really have to stay centered and remember who you are, because like it's so easy for this industry, entertainment, whether you're acting, whether you're in music, you're always going to have that superior that's going to feel because they've established themselves as a powerhouse. It's like, okay, well, here's what you want. I'm the stepping stone in between that. So what can you do for me? And I have grown so much in the past 2 years because you really have to develop a tough skin leather and tell yourself that this is going to happen, and I have to always know how to carry myself. I have to know the situation I'm walking in, that it could at any point in time get unprofessional, really know your team, really know the people who are there for you. I have photographers ask me all the time, why do you only work with Wes? Point blank, I 200% trust Wes. So it's
I've never made any advances. Can you believe it?
No.
They don't, because I'm gay. They don't get it. I'm gay. They try to. Is he gay? I've had so many people say, "Is he gay? Is he gay? Is he gay?" And I'm like, no, he's not.
Resident straight man, yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't say that. He's straight. Everybody, this is the straight perspective.
So yeah, I can. So I feel this whole movement is very powerful and it's needed, because now this kind of puts the pressure on everybody else who knows they're inappropriately just abusing their power in the industry, and it's like I've grown and become stronger from it, and I just just aid anybody that's also like, especially women. Like fun fact, I'm a feminist, so I have literally been very infuriated by like everything that's been coming out about this. So yeah, I mean, just always know who you are, and just know that you don't have to sell your soul to advance and be successful.
All right.
He meant to say the womanist movement. It's okay.
Okay, my fault.
You meant to say that. I know you did.
I
Is
did.
that a real thing?
I did.
Womanist? Yes.
Yeah, I've heard feminist, but not womanist.
Like,
okay.
Are we in the 70s?
I have heard womanist. No, I have heard womanist too.
Really? I mean, because I was just reading the article just within the last few hours, updated on E! News, that Amber Rose is considered the feminist icon. So I haven't heard the womanist. But Chris, what do you think about this whole Harvey Weinstein?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll close off on that.
Okay, all right. Well, I think, for the most part, just about all the bases have pretty much been covered on the topic. I will go forward and say that, like Tim said, being an actor and a model and stuff, there have been moments where photographers and directors have like tried to push their luck, and here I am like shell shocked because I'm like, oh, so wait, am I really talented, or you just like want to sleep with me? But I have always drawn the line, or I've always kind of stepped back, and I think that on two fronts, we have to make awareness to these people who are in power. And then on the other side, when we're hungry for our ambitions and other things too, we have to be willing to draw the line and just be like, I'm not gonna do it. So, that's my little 2 cents on.
Now that I just wanted to say, because nobody touched on this, that Chris, oh, sorry, I didn't know you were finished. I said now that he's finished, but I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Now that he's finished, I want to make sure that we all just kind of quasi-touch on especially because you guys ended it with your being in the industry, the hypocrisy of this. Because I've heard all of you guys, the two of you, excuse me, I've heard the two of you say, this is what actually happens in the industry. And he wasn't getting away with this for 20, 30 years by himself. There were people who were aware, who knew, who just allowed for this environment to kind of be the way that it is. And so it's not just him alone that I have an issue with. His own brother sat there and said, well, you beat me up. Well, come on, boo. So you've known this for years. And if you're that insular with him, then that means that the people who are outside of that knew as well. So you guys are making millions and millions and billions of dollars. And now one of you guys is standing up and saying anything. And we're just allowing for this to happen. And it just so happens because this is now the flavor of the week. And now we're like, yeah, women's rights. That we're going to be like, yeah, that was wrong. No, y'all was on this board for a while. And it bothers me so much that nobody is saying like every single body that works with this man, at least 20% of your mind, every single person, 100%, 20% of your mind knew that he was on some reckless shit, and none of y'all did shit. And I have a problem with that.
So that's a great dialogue to have, because it kind of puts yourself in the mindset of, is it any of my business? Should I concern myself with it? I'm trying to get in this business or this field as well. Will I be blacklisted if I decide to say something? Because I do know
you got hush money to shut the fuck up.
I do know of a particular situation that has occurred with quite a few people, and I feel, and be it that you're talking about it now, I feel like if it's not me involved and I've spoken to the person that's gone through the experience and that person does not want to say anything, then I don't feel like I should come forward and be like the poster child for it, because the person that I'm concerned with doesn't want to say anything.
That's
so
okay.
am I wrong? I'm wrong for being that way?
Yes and no. There's a balance in this. So you have to recognize that you are now compromising your integrity for your career. That's A. So if you're okay with that,
me as the person listening,
you as the person listening,
okay,
you are compromising your integrity for the advancement of your career. And if you're okay with that, that's fine. That's the crow that you have to eat on Judgment Day. That's what you got to do. And if you're okay with that, you're okay with that. And there's no judgment there. It is, if you're okay with it, then you're okay with it. What I have an issue with is all of these people who are coming forward who are like, yeah, that's so messed up. But you were standing right there. So if you then wanted to turn around when it's all hot and it's cool to be on the Me Too campaign, and you're like, yeah, she told me something, and you want to get in front of a camera, I have a problem with you now. because you could have said something 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 years ago. You said nothing. Don't jump on the bandwagon and say it's wrong. So you got to stay on one side of the coin with me. It cannot be gray. It cannot be gray for me. So if you wanted to, now if you say, you know what, the only way you can get off that side of the coin is if you say, you know what, when she told me, I was thinking about my career and I was an asshole. I was thinking about my career.
I was just saying, I follow where she was going with that, because a lot of people focus on their career and making money. That's cool. Be completely honest. Like I like this coin concept she has, because it's like I'm the same way. So the only way to kind of get off that other side is if you're just like, hey, look, I'm coming out now about it. 5 years ago, I was like, you know what? It's about me and my career. I've been working hard. I've gone through a lot of shit doing this. So I'm not just gonna let just one mishap, so it's easy to kind of just emotionally and mentally just bury it. But then when you start seeing other women come out, it's like, you have a responsibility. And I feel like once you...
Stop. You had a responsibility 20 years ago, but go ahead.
That's very true.
Well,
you always had the responsibility,
right?
But so, like, you gain this much credit when you actually like gain the confidence and be like, okay.
As long as you're able to eat the crow, you good.
Easy to say. I'm sorry. That's so. Yeah, that is just so easy to say. But when you don't have power, that's so easy to say. That's like saying if your boss is being racist, it's so easy for you to stand up as a black person and say you can't be racist. It's not, because I have a family to feed. So you can't make me the villain for not being courageous, though.
Let's be clear. I'm not making you the villain, but you're not allowed to stand up and say something now, 20 years later.
Well, there's power in numbers, because if only one person stands up, this whole movement wouldn't be a movement. It would be one person complaining.
That's relative.
But that's just like the Me Too movement. People find courage in other people's courage, and they're inspired by other people. So it's not really fair to say, oh, because you didn't stand up. Like, it's a spectrum more so than just hot or cold. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot that can be lost as a person who is also under that veil of power at 20, 30 years ago. And if you're working at a restaurant and all the servers know that the chef is ruthless or whatever, but they're all kind of afraid of losing their job. They all talk amongst each other and talk about this may be wrong, but because of the power aspect, they're not really able to say anything until they're outside of that position, because they have a family to feed, they have bills to make, and things of that nature. So
I mean, everything that you guys are saying makes sense. But then I'm thinking about where I stand, or where I'm going to be standing going into next year, making my own films and stuff like that. Will I ever put myself in a position of power? Will I ever do that? And the answer is no. I would never make advances so that someone else's career could be wherever I need it to be or whatever. Like, I've never done that with work. It doesn't make sense for me. But at the same time, I feel that it is the victim's responsibility to speak up for themselves if it's really that problematic for them.
Yes.
If you come out over here and tell me, oh, well, this happened to me, and this time the third, or whatever, and I say, okay, well, what are you going to do about that? Well, I don't know, because, I really want this film. And so then my response is, okay, so why are you telling me that? Because if you're telling me just to divulge and you want to get off your chest, cool, that's fine. But I shouldn't take that ownership. The ownership should be with you, because it's you going through it. I could probably be like, well, I think you should say something, and what if he's doing this to somebody else?
I'm talking about the people who probably, I'm talking about that subset of people who were told. Someone came to them for help and asked, because that happens a lot of times, where the victim will come in and ask and say, can you help me? What can I do? And those people. I'm not talking to the people who were just sitting there kind of between a rock and a hard place, who were like, oh, well, you're telling me, what do you want? Like, how can we move this forward? How can we affect change? I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about the people, that subset of people who do exist, who I know very well, who did nothing when the person was coming to them crying and asking for assistance and help. Those are the ones that are not allowed to jump on the bandwagon. Not the people who are trying to look, well, I'm in between a rock and a hard place, like I gotta feed my family, I gotta do this. If you wanna go, we can go together, but what do you wanna do? I'm not talking about those people.
Yeah, okay.
I'm talking about the people who were just like, well, oh, I'm so sorry, bitch, but gotta pay my bills. Those, and now they're like, yeah, she told me, and I felt so bad.
Okay,
and
yeah.
those are the people that I have an issue with. And if I know personally one person, I'm pretty sure that there have got to be hundreds, if not thousands, of that subset.
So how do you guys feel having had this happen to both of you? And I don't know if you've said anything or said we're going to stand against this, but how do you feel knowing about this Harvey Weinstein situation and all? I think the number is at 48 females now, damn near 50.
Probably hundreds.
Probably. How do you feel in that pocket as being a potential victim and knowing that these people could be potentially doing this to others?
Well, I, for one, with the entertainment industry, how I look at it, and I'm going to really speak from my perspective, you know, I'm starting out in the game, but there's no like HR department in entertainment. You just, you know, you cut your losses. So, you know, if I was like in a position where someone was offering me a big deal, like Olivia said, if I was like, well, damn, I need this, then I have to accept that I did it for that reason. I haven't got no deals like that, and I don't think that I will ever accept one like that. I think it's a matter of you make the decision, like, do I want this opportunity? Or is this just like going against the grain? I'm a firm believer in the universe. Things come back to you, so I don't even want to put that out there. So I'll probably just go and say, well, I can still do what I want to do, I just can't do it with you. Mm-hmm. And so where I'm supposed to end up is going to be just going to be on a path of things that have my moral values intact. And that's where I'm supposed to be. If I start going into situations and I have to compromise myself, who I believe myself to be, my morals, my values and stuff, then I feel like I'm getting off track. Mm-hmm. So if a door is like blocked by your penis, then I'm not supposed to go in there. You know, that's just how I look.
I definitely try to be a mentor to those who want to. Right there. I try to be a mentor to those who want to get into modeling and acting. A young lady just recently reached out to me, and everybody's always so anxious. They just immediately want what they presumably see as success. You know, they see social media, they see, you know, like, oh, you featured in, you know, this magazine, or you're here, you're like, or you're at this event. And I told them a lot of the times that, you know, I said, are you ready for the process, or do you just want the fame? Because a lot of the times, you know, I would say, like, I didn't get into this trying to be famous. You know, I wanted to be an artist, I wanted to be a creative. I felt that the one thing I personally have is my body, and I can send off a message in any way that I want to. So I think everybody has to, you know, like going into this, I feel like that anxiousness is what causes them to, you know, to get backed into a corner of like doing something they don't want to do, because it's like, well, I want the success so bad, or I want this so bad. And a lot of the time it's empty promises. You know, don't always believe a lot of these people like, oh, I'm the plug between this person and this person. It's like they could just be talking a good game a lot of the times. And I've learned that, you know, through like a lot of people, and you'll start to wean out who's really connected in the business and who's like, you're like Beyonce, like you kind of know Beyonce's juice guy that comes on Saturday, but it's like, but you say I know Beyonce, you don't know Beyonce. So yeah, just be mindful of that. Don't be so anxious that you're willing to be like, oh, first opportunity, I'm jumping in. It's okay to say no. I think that's a very important word that people really need to learn how to like, no, that's an actual word you can say. Like, don't be afraid like things aren't gonna like come full circle, or it's like you won't reach where you're supposed to be. It'll happen. It's just a different path you're gonna take, and one that you can be proud of when you finally get there.
To build on that really quick, the people who have made advances, when I did say no, I was still able to work with them. So sometimes you just have to have confidence to be able to say that I'm not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? People, they're going to shoot their shots.
So do you, because I was about to say something. I saw that, I caught the shade that you gave that person about the Beyonce comment. That was cool. I caught the shade.
You caught it too?
Yeah, I caught it. That's all
I was hoping you did.
But so being that you still decided to work with them, and you guys can chime in because you guys been very quiet, and Larry's over there and he's going to join us real soon, you guys. you decided to still work with this particular individual. To the panel, does that make Chris, what's the word I'm looking for? Help me, smart guy. What's the word I'm looking for? An accomplice?
You're not a sellout. You're not anything. You are.
He's encouraging the behavior
No, you're
by
not
still
encouraging
working with the guy?
No, you're not encouraging.
And I'm just playing devil's advocate because I'm asking questions.
In my understanding, you've set a boundary, okay? And then that person has decided that, oh, I can't go there with you. We set boundaries all the time when we have conversations, when we interact with each other. So you set a boundary. They did not disrespect. Now, if they continue to disrespect that boundary, now that starts to be an integrity issue. But, I would never think that you're a sellout. You're getting that coin. You're securing the bag. You said, no, I will not do this. And you kept pushing. That's about right.
Actually, anybody that's ever, pushed the envelope or try is like I actually haven't worked with. I've always, you can just call it the tenacity in me, but I just always.
I want to say the person's name so badly.
I do too.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Because
I was struggling with it.
I feel like both me and you have been struggling because we want to say it so bad.
Don't do
And we don't have to. We don't have to. Is it, sis?
It is.
Okay.
Because when you love somebody that you cool with, they be like, oh, I'm about to work with such and such. They're gonna be like, and then we can have that one-on-one conversation. But I ain't gonna be out here destroying other people's bag. But if you know who you are, you know who you are. Get your life together. There you go.
Levi and David, has anyone ever made an advancement to you in any way where it required them to say, oh, I can give you this role, or I can give you this money, or I could give you something if you just want to suck my dick? Has anybody ever? And I'm being stupid just to lighten up because everybody's like, y'all are so serious. Y'all are just so serious.
But what if they ask them? What if they ask them to lick they pussy? I mean, come on, why?
It could be that woman out there that's like, I know you're not gay. Stop it. You need to come over here to the pussy train.
Right, exactly.
There could be. So has it happened? Because you guys have been like quiet the whole episode.
No, we just haven't had a chance to speak. That's happened to me. This happened to me. I declined it. I will say if the situation was right and the deal was right, I might accept it. But I also want to point out though that this isn't like exclusive to the entertainment and music industry. Like this happens in any industry, in all industries, anywhere where money and power is involved. And it doesn't even matter how much money. It happens in low-level businesses, just like the high-rise businesses.
People do a lot.
I can see this. You couldn't.
So I think that while it's important to point out while it's happening in our specific industries, that it's even more important to look at that it's happening in all industries and it's not exclusive to any one or two.
So you would lay down for the coin?
If the coin were right, yeah. If the roll were right, hold for the roll. You not hold? Hold for the roll.
Hold him
Are you gonna tell me if someone offered me a lead role in a recurring Marvel superhero movie where I get 3 movies playing a lead actor superhero? Fuck yes.
Bust it open.
What number is your hotel room? I'm bringing a bottle of champagne.
I know that's real.
Okay.
You better go ahead. I mean, shout out to everyone that works in Marvel because they are multi-millionaires right now.
They lit. I mean, I had a couple photographers and stuff trying to kind of push the envelope. I'm like, wait a minute, buddy. And they typically wait till they've done other projects with you and they feel comfortable to ask you those certain things. And like everybody said, you just gotta be true to yourself and know what you're there for and know what you're trying to push across. But it's never been anything to the point where I even scratch my head to consider maybe I could. And I can't say whether I would or not, depending on how nice that bag is looking.
Okay, wait, stop. So would you straight for pay? Would you straight it for pay?
How much pay we talking about?
Whatever that number, that's just your bag. That's just your number. Would you straight it for pay?
it would be the hardest fucking thing I ever had to do in life because.
But you would do it, is what you said. But you would do it if you was.
It's a possibility.
Welcome to acting.
Would you straight for that?
I would do it for free if we were sexually attracted to each other. So yeah, of course.
No, I said would you straight for pay?
I already answered this question. I feel like my previous answer stands. It doesn't matter the sex of the person who's offering me this role in lead actor in a movie. It's a hit me.
What did I say? It's a definite answer for me. You could literally come to me and be like, you like Los Angeles tomorrow, your whole life would change. And I'd be like, that's cool.
You would gay for pay?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm saying like even if it was
I just wanna know,
I'd be on like Los Angeles billboards like tomorrow. Literally, it's just like your bank account will be 6 zeros in 2 minutes. If you have like, I'm good. I'm good.
How about
That's
you, Chris?
integrity.
Would you straight for pay?
I mean, I'm an actor, so you know what I'm saying? I can pretend like I like just about anybody.
No. I'm talking about get in the bedroom with the director because you was about to be in the next Marvel, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
and I need you to sleep.
I just have to say, from where I feel right now, I disagree with Levi. I love you, Levi. But I probably
What?
I wouldn't do it because I feel like God has been so much as an importance in everything that has happened. You know what I'm saying? That He's said trust in me, not in money. So, you know,
man,
that's,
or a woman, or just like somebody, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Olivia, would you? You're asking everybody else.
Fuck no.
Now, if Angela Bassett walked up to you and said, listen, sis, I think you're hot. And I got this great role for you in my show.
Stella got her groove back.
Stella getting her groove back.
Again.
So it doesn't matter if the person's attractive or unattractive. It's just the concept of
No, I would
pulling
never.
you in.
I am true to who I am. Let's be very clear. I'm an aggressive femme. Not
Yes.
at any time do I ever need to feel that submissive, like that to that level. Like I cook dinner. That's as far as I'm going. I clean the house.
I'll take you
As
for a
far as
coffee.
I'm going.
I'll take you out for a coffee.
Or not.
We can discuss
But you know, no, like have sex for money. That makes me a prostitute. That makes me common in my mind.
My thing is you have to draw a line between like, do you not have confidence in yourself to make it? You know, you have to start asking yourself that question. Like, yeah, you wake up every day saying like, I'm this good, I'm this talented, I'm gonna get this role, and then when the like opportunity like is presented to you, you're like, oh, this is the only way I can get it. You never truly have confidence in yourself to begin with.
Well, we shouldn't act like it's not Hollywood or any industry. It's not like a who's who. You gotta know people to start and to get somewhere. Like you can create a little wave on your own, but you create tsunamis once you start building relationships and networking, because everybody says you need to network, especially in Hollywood. You need to network. So I mean, I hear everybody saying, well, I would never, and oh, but you gotta, and da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, there are some very famous people that didn't just become famous just because of their acting skills.
Let's be clear.
No.
Let's be clear. At the end of the day, everybody has a pussy, everybody has a dick that's man or female or whatever. Okay? There is nothing extra special about putting that out there to advance yourself into your career because everyone has something. It's not anything extra special. Your talent, your art, who you are, your energy, all of those things like identify you as the individual, me as Olivia. And so for me, I subscribe to what my man Chris over here is saying. Like, if that's the only way I'm gonna get it, that's not what I'm supposed to have in this lifetime. And I am okay with that because I will find what I consider success. For me, success is being able to be in a balanced experience and a balanced existence and to try to have as much happiness as I possibly can. And if that includes money, great. If it doesn't, fantastic too. I I cannot. And when I say common, that means I cannot. When I say common, I mean that the whole prostitution thing to me is just like, it's not no different than any other Tom, Dick, and Harry. Like, you could lay it out and bust it open. You not different. You not anything special.
No.
It's something about your energy, your integrity, your intelligence, your spirit, everything. Go ahead, boo. Say something.
Okay. So you're saying that anyone who is a sex worker is common, that they contribute nothing to the creative communities or to charitable communities or to any other positive aspect of humanity?
I did not say that. What I said was, it is nothing different than what I can do with regards to the acting. Sex worker is a very large topic. I'm talking about prostitute. Putting out my sexual favors for money or for favors, okay? There is nothing different between a prostitute and, no, because sex workers, there's a very large, so there's nothing between a prostitute and a married woman when it comes to that concept of giving out sexual favors, giving out sex for favors and things like that. So there's no difference. Like, you're not any better, you're not any worse, you're not anything. You're in the same playing field when I'm talking about that. You're just a different pussy.
I'm so confused.
So, question for the panel. If you found out your favorite all-time actress, actor, whatever, got to that point from engaging in those acts, are you knocking them?
No,
you know what's
I don't
funny?
give a shit.
You know what's funny to me? If I saw that as just the opposite of who I thought they would be, then I would be bothered by it. But then if it was like, okay, it was Madonna, okay, yeah, like of course Madonna sucked a few dicks to get to the top. It's Madonna, you know. But,
Of course she did.
Why not?
That's what
Madonna.
you do.
I mean, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that part of it, but I mean, at the end of the day, I just look at it like, you do what you want to do. It's your body, it's your whatever. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I enjoyed that movie, and you did great in that movie. It was really good. I liked it, but hey, do you?
I want to present something that we can all think about. So Issa Rae was doing an interview where she said that a lot of people, and we're all talking about superiors. Everybody's reaching up here, but she says all of her successes come from literally what we're doing right now. She says looking from left to right. People who are also on the grind, people who also want to make it, and you can literally tell she's in a circle where it's like, we went through the whole process of the true struggle. There was no immediate, we just woke up tomorrow and then insecure and, awkward black girl just became a thing because I slept with. It's like, no, I've been the sole proprietor of everything I've been doing.
So it's possible that you can get there without it.
Exactly.
Right. What was her name? Issa Rae. Issa Rae. So yeah, she was talking about networking across versus networking upward, and I feel like it really paints a 3D picture in my mind when you think about what an actual foundation is. You know what I'm saying? It's a foundation. It has a central point, but then you also have a base. You know what I'm saying? And that base is that network across. You know, being able to work with people who are in that same level, being humble enough to understand that we've got to work on this together. You know, building yourself a team at that point in your career, I think is really important. And so, if that's the case, you know, more or less, probably won't find. I guess I can only speak from an entertainment perspective, but you probably won't find too many people who are going to be trying to use that power, because it's like, you ain't got no power yet, bitch. We starting out.
It's vital. You talked about your independent film. I talked about mine. Nobody here seemed more like, I'm more famous than you are. I'm more famous than you are. We all there was an equilibrium amongst all our respective fields. Nobody felt I feel kind of attacked because he talked about his well, I have a movie too. What's starting a network? Everybody had something. So it's there was no well, I'm the most powerful person here, therefore after I'm going to be letting everybody know. It's so. Who's trying to advance in their career? Talk to me. That's the reason why it's so important, I feel to do the left, the right.
Go ahead. To your point, Wes, honestly, yes, I agree with you. I first was no, I don't care, but now I do agree. And Chris said that, sorry. As far as,
so you agree with?
So I agree with Chris as far as it would bother me. So if, let's say Karen Hunter, if she came out and was yeah, I sexed my way to the top. She is a proponent of being Black Power, and I would never, I would never put myself. That's what she talks about every day. Colin Kaepernick. If Colin Kaepernick, took a bribe from a cop, or, you know, city officials, I'd feel some type of way about that because I'd be like, wait a minute. Like, it would bother me. So I would say that, yes, if I found out that some of my, you know, famous people were doing something against or opposite of what they stand for today, and that's not part of their platform of how they say it, I'd have a problem. Like, I mess with Russell Simmons because he says, look, I was this, I was that, I was this, I was that, and now this is who I am. And so I'm able to talk to you from both perspectives.
He's a very interesting guy.
Like, I do.
Extremely interesting.
So now, do you guys like stop subscribing to that person? You stop supporting them?
When you've been able to acknowledge it and say, this is where I've been and this is what I'm doing and this is why I've done whatever. Like Malcolm X. Malcolm X was a drug dealer, he was a thief, he was everything.
Oh man, don't get me talking.
You know?
Don't get me started about Malcolm.
And like he said, look, this is who I was. I went to jail, I did this, I did that, I did that. And through that, I was able to learn something about myself. And through that, I'm able to be able to give you a different perspective about why this needs to change, and why we need to change in this way, and why our community needs to do this. So I rock with you if you say, if you put it out there like, boom, I did this.
So we're going to close off on this episode. The final question, and we're going to start on Chris and work our way from the right to the left. If someone, and let's just see if our conversation has changed our opinions in any way, shape, or form. And to the audience out there, definitely leave comments below about this, okay? If you're female, if you're male, if you're a woman, if you're a man, okay, whatever you are, I'm sure you have an opinion about this whole situation because as you can see, we have two men that are in this field that it has happened to them. But my question is,
it happened to me too.
And to you.
So lay it out and bust it open now.
Would you?
But I did it the first time. If the price is right.
Would you lay it down and bust it wide open for your dream role and position in your field, whatever field that is, in your field? Yes or no? That's all I want to hear.
What? You know you're not going to go yes or no with me.
Yes or no?
So, no, I wouldn't do it. Okay.
Right.
I wouldn't do it.
Oh, it's a 1,000% no.
It's a, yeah, probably. I mean, if you find, maybe.
Nah, bruh.
Yes.
I don't know. Like how.
Yes.
So thank you guys for tuning in to Culture Clubb. Follow us on Instagram at Culture Clubb ATL. You can follow him on Instagram. All of the information will be below. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please leave comments, share, tweet, like, and all of that jazz. Thank you. Later. Something about you working your tongue in between the on the lunch meat. That's what
I said lunch meat.
Vagina looks like lunch meat to me.
Oh,
If you just roll up some turkey,
Oh my God.
have it at the end of your bread. That's what the vagina looks like. So it looks like lunch meat.
I don't know what vagina is looking at.
That is bold and blunt. Child, I lied about both. I hate that topic.
So you're not married or divorced?
No, I ain't never been married a day in my life.
Oh shit.
This topic was dumb.
So does that mean that does that mean
You gotta stop
Don't do that, thank you. Don't do that. Don't discount
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
History making song. Don't do
You
that.
did so well the last episode and not interrupted. Thank you, baby. So no, that's what I'm saying. Like, if I was Little Uzi Vert and Quavo, I'll be like, nah, this song is hot. Let's put it out there. Okay, Cardi B can still do it. Y'all writing this one song for forever. Where's the album?